L'Osservatore Romano published an article praising the ethical concepts of Islamic banking and finance and encouraging Western banks to adopt the rules of Islamic banking and finance to restore confidence among their clients. And this was echoed globally. L'Osservatore Romano published an article praising the ethical concepts of Islamic banking and finance and encouraging Western banks to adopt the rules of Islamic banking and finance to restore confidence among their clients. And this was echoed globally at the height of the global financial crisis, as several conventional banking experts who had some time to study the Islamic structure of finance and thought that would have been a remedy to the problem, or that the problem would not have arisen in the first place if we appreciated the tenets of Islamic banking. Ladies and gentlemen, several governments are taking efforts to benefit from the advantages of the Islamic banking and finance systems. Countries like the United Kingdom, Ireland, Germany, France, Malaysia, Indonesia, some countries in Africa, Gambia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya, and several other countries, including Indonesia, Turkey, Singapore, the entire Middle East, Japan, and Australia are now well-known names in this regard. We therefore need to understand that Islamic finance is not only for Muslims, but for people of all religious denominations. Indeed, it's not a religious issue. It's an issue of providing service in the most ethical and efficient manner to citizens of the financial industry. I believe it is by virtue of its economic benefits that all these countries, irrespective of the size of their Muslim populations, are trying out different ways to become leading centers of Islamic banking and finance. Likewise, there has been a surge in the number of non-Muslim professionals providing Islamic banking and financial services throughout the world, undoubtedly stressing the importance and advantages of Islamic banking and finance, which stretches all over the world. On this note, let me just say one thing, that the last time that anybody visited me in the office to discuss opportunities in Islamic banking was about 3 months ago, when 4 gentlemen scheduled an appointment to meet with me to discuss the sukuk, which we have heard a lot of times. And my assumption was that all of them would be probably Muslims. And they came to my office, professionals, they were all international people. And none of them, not one of them, was a Muslim. And that was a surprise to me. And they were so passionate about the product they were willing to bring to the country and the success they had seen in several other countries practicing as financial experts, several other countries. And thank you all for coming, and look forward to working with all of you in our collaborative effort at introducing Islamic mode of financing in Ghana. Thank you for your attention.
The man said he was not going to compete with the experts. But I think the experts will agree that the man is ready to compete with you. Yeah, it's giving us a lot of information, food for thought. There are some few takeaways that we all need to take home as participants for this program. The gist of what he said is that Islamic banking prohibit interest. They don't give finance for unethical businesses like prostitution, like gambling and all that. And then it also has to conform to the Sharia, the Islamic code of legal code, which is based on justice and fairness. But to our consultants, you raised some few issues that you need to take note and help us when you come your discussion. He's talking about the fact that sometimes banks are supposed to place money with the central bank. The central bank is supposed to work some interest on it for you. So what do you do in this environment where you don't take interest? The other issue he raised was also the issue about the central bank also being the lender of last resort sometimes in terms of liquidity crunch for banks. And so if you don't pay interest and don't accept interest, what happens when you are in liquidity crunch and the central bank has to provide liquidity support for you? These are issues that you need to clarify, I believe, when you come in your presentation. Thank you once again, Deputy Governor, for giving us that wonderful keynote address, which I think has set the tone for what our consultants are going to give to us. The next item on the program is, I think the program has been organized in consultation with the Global Institute of Islamic Banking, Insurance, and Consultancy. So their Director General, in the person of Mr. Abdul Momin, will give us some 5-minute snapshot on the consultancy firm, and also give us a global overview of Islamic banking so that we all understand what is happening in the global world as far as Islamic banking and finance is concerned. Mr. Momin.
In the presentation. When you look on the program that you have, we have global overview as part of my presentation. We have shifted the global overview to the next presenter. So I'm gonna give you brief about Giibic. That's the profile about Giibic. So the next presenter will be coming for the global overview. 3 sections, and this is the first outline of the first section, which is going to be the snapshot of insurance and consultancy. As the governor, deputy governor said, global finance, Islamic global finance is increasing at alarming rates. And then we feel that we need to participate in this. And to participate in this, you need education. Once you have education, then you can achieve everything. Education is going to be 3 sections. The first section is going to be what I'm presenting now. Then we have second section where Dr. Burhan will present on the global overview, what is in for Ghana, and then there will be third section that he will be looking at the differences between regulation and supervision of Islamic banking and Islamic banking and finance versus conventional banking regulation and supervision. That's where we're going to have all the questions. Now, we don't have much time as per the program, so I'm going to go through quickly on the profile of Giibic. This is Giibic. We have our mission, we have vision and mission. Our vision is to become global leaders in provision of Islamic banking, education, and training, as well as consultant services. When you look at most of African countries have started Islamic banking, and but the issue is the education. Currently, most of the education that we are having are coming from the Europe and the Middle East. It's only Nigeria and South Africa that have also set up institutes to provide education and training. And as you know, for every industry to develop, you need education and training. So we want to be a regional leader in provision of this education, training, and consultant service, specifically in Islamic banking and consultancy. Now, how do we provide that? We will be targeting specific products that are tailored towards the development, manpower development, as our mission. Then, this is the framework that we'll be working on. We'll be having education, we'll be having publication, training, publication, research, and consultant service. This is the framework that we'll be working on. And then when you take the education aspect, we'll be having programs. When you look at our website, although it's still under development, we'll be having programs. We'll be having certificates, and we'll be having diploma courses, and we'll be having postgraduate diploma courses. All these courses are certified, accredited by British Accreditation Council, as well as CIMA. So these are the courses that we'll be having: certificate in Islamic banking, certificate in Islamic takaful, diploma in Islamic banking, postgraduate diploma in Islamic banking and finance, insurance, certificate in Islamic microfinance, certificate takaful. These are the courses, the programs and courses that we'll be having. Then you go to the training and development. We'll be having training and development on these categories. We'll be having fee-based workshop, seminars, forums, monthly lectures, conventions as well. And all these are towards specifically in Islamic banking and finance. Research also, will be having tailored research in the market. We have a market research, and we also have specific research depending on the need. Then we have publications. We have 3 types of publications. The first one is the Prospect. This will be a magazine called the Prospect. And the Prospect will be Islamic banking and finance, and it will be looking at Islamic finance landscape in Ghana. The historical development of Islamic finance in Ghana. It will also look at investments opportunities in large Ghanaian projects, Islamic finance education in Ghana, and business profiles of key companies offering Islamic finance services in Ghana. The second one will be Global Horizon. This will be a magazine that will be publishing on quarterly basis. And this will look at issues of global perspective and the development in Islamic banking and finance globally, as well as articles of thought from our partners globally. Finally, is Halal Bulletin. We'll be having a magazine on Halal Bulletin that will also, all the publications will be quarterly publications. And this Halal Bulletin will be talking about halal food industry, with major focus on industry updates, development, international overviews, and articles. One of the drivers of Islamic banking and finance is halal food, the need for halal food. And that is why we find it being appropriate to have Islamic, to have a halal bulletin magazine. Now, when you come to the consultants, we have the education, we have the publication, we have the research. Then the last aspect is the consultant service. And in this service, we will be doing 4 things: establishment and conversion. Banks that need to convert from conventional banking to Islamic banking, we will be assisting. They need our help. We will assist them to convert from conventional to Islamic banking. Recently, Dr. Brohan's bank in Bahrain acquired a bank that was a conventional bank, and then they converted it to Islamic banking. He can throw light on that, how they did that.
And then, since Honorable Deputy Governor is here, from my perspective, go after the Islamic banking in Ghana, the best method will be the conversion because it's cheaper and less headache than establishing a new bank. And we have the process. Myself, I'm talking from the practice. I have been involved from A to Z. There is no any transaction which happen in this conversion that I'm not signing on it. One to A to Z. So the process of conversion is easier from the perspective of if you get in problematic banks in the system, the easiest way to take them out of the system is to go for the conversion and then make it an Islamic bank. So I hope if you are here, we can get most of your answers, but definitely you are busy. So I hope the people will bring the answers to you, inshallah. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Second, under our services is enhancement on or restructuring. This is, as part of our consultants, is to assist existing Islamic institutions to boost their product portfolio. The third is regulations. What we'll be doing, and that we have been doing also, is to help central banks who are currently not having Islamic banking system and interested to have the system to help them set the system up. And capacity building, Islamic financial institutions that have a knowledge gaps, we also help them to identify that knowledge gap and then bridge it. Finally, what we'll be doing also in our profile is what we call SPV, that special purpose vehicle, and fund mobilization. We serve as special purpose vehicle, and that is Sukuk. That's you pull up the assets, slice them into certificates, then you sell them to investors, and then you mobilize fund for the originator. So that is the last thing that we'll be doing under consultant service. Now, we have mentioned Sukuk. Basically, this is the structure of the Sukuk. This diagram, you just put it there for you to see where Giibic will be playing. This needs a whole day explanation. So Giibic will be there as a SPV. We have the investors, we have the originator, and then you have the rating agencies. Giibic will be liaising between these three people in order to mobilize funds for large corporate and state projects or investments. So this is how it works. Our next presenter will throw light on it. Giibic, when you look at the slide, we have two areas that has been highlighted green. These are the two areas that we have capabilities to help develop the Islamic banking and finance industry in Ghana. Apart from our services, we also have a wide knowledgeable investor base that we can mobilize funds through them. We also have the capability to draw the comprehensive regulatory, legal, corporate governance of Islamic banking framework, which the second Governor, Dr. Nasir, was speaking about. These are the areas for competency. Yes, we are speaking from experience. We are not, all our members have worked in the industry of Islamic banking and finance for several years, and we have the competence to do or help develop the industry in Ghana, as well as talent. Now, this is the end of our profile. The next section on the program is supposed to be a break, but the time dedicated for the two presentations, we have much load over there, and for that matter, we want Dr. Burhan to start the second presentation before we set off for the break.
Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, and very good morning to you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think the second presentation, as I already said, on the global overview, our Deputy Governor has taken all the presentation. So we don't need to bother a lot. But before I go that, I have to explain something that he has already explained. When we're talking about Islamic banking, as he said, we are not talking about Islam as such. I put it this way: banking in